Hey guys, so let's get into this first impressions. So here is what the package looks like. It's called Contour Blush, okay, by Sephora, and this is in the Spice Market Blush shade. I think they have two versions of this. And this was $28. This is what the actual palette looks like. Pretty basic, you know, not anything, you know, over the top as far as packaging goes. So basic plastic packaging with a little like latch, you know, closure. And here's the inside. And so we've got 6 shades. They say that it's, turn up the heat with this spicy collection of 6 warm blush shades. So they're saying that all of these are blushes. Universally flattering colors in both matte and shimmer finishes suit every skin tone from light to deep. Soft pigmented formula blends seamlessly into skin for a subtle or fiery flush. So you can get a subtle look or, you know, a fiery look if you want to. So this shade here is the only matte shade, and it looks to me like it would be more of a bronzer for me. But sometimes I do like maybe bring my bronzer up a little higher onto the cheekbones or onto the cheeks to give more of a flush of color. So you can use it as a blush if you want to. And especially if you're deeper than me, then you can definitely use it as a blush. So I'm going to go on ahead and get my little like fan brush. This is the brush that I use for contour, and sometimes if I want a more precise bronze, then I'll go in with this. And I like using this because it's real fluffy, you know. I've had it for a while, as you can tell. It looks pretty beat up, but it kind of blends really nicely as you're applying it, so you don't get that harsh line like you might get with something like a Narzita brush or something that's real flat and blunt at the end. So I'm going to go in with that brush into this shade, tap a couple times, knock off the excess like I always do, and then I'm going to just go on in. So that's what it's looking like. You see that looks pretty harsh, and it didn't, you know, look. Now I'm just going to take this brush and like pop it up. Pop, 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 pop. So it's looking a lot more harsh on camera than it is in person, but you can see how pigmented that is. That is super pigmented. I probably didn't need to tap into there 3 times, you know, to get the color that I wanted. But yeah, so just in this area, see, now I'm getting a little bit more diffused. I think I just had too much product on the other hand. On the other side. But you can see how it's, you know, more diffused. The color is more diffused. And I did just tap lightly. Okay, so tap lightly, knock off the excess, and now I'm going around the perimeter of my face. This is a very nice bronzer. It has a nice warm tone to it, which is most of the time what you're looking for in a bronzer. Cooler tones, or like a little bit of a, that have a little bit of a grayer undertone to them. Those are typically contours. And then when you have a little bit more warmth in the shade, that is indicative, in my opinion, of a bronzer. But lesson learned, you know, this is pigmented, okay? $28. $28. All right, so I did the bronzing. Everything's looking bronzed. I'm going to take my face brush, and I didn't add any extra powder. I'm just taking whatever's left on this brush and pressing this into the skin to make sure everything is, you know, blended nicely. All right, so now for the blush, we've got 3 beautiful shades here. These all have like a shimmer matte type of, not shimmer, shimmer metallic type of thing. Luminosity, that's what I'll say, because it's not like they have glitter or anything like that. It's not, they're not glittery, at least from the pan. They just have a sheen or a luminescence to it, if that's even a word. So there's this nice berry mauve shade here. This one, okay, that looks a little bit better. Okay, that one you can see is a nice orange, bright orange shade, and then this one is a more toned down mauve type of look. I think I'm going to go into this one. An orange blush on a woman of color is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. My first initial favorite blush was that orange blush by Black Radiance. Toasted Almond. Toasted Almond by Black Radiance. That's a matte blush, but it's a nice and orangey tone. All right, so I'm going to take a little bit of this. Hopefully I don't like mess nothing up. A little bit of this on a blush brush since I saw how pigmented that was. I'm just going to tap, knock it off. You can see it there. And then let's get my mirror and add a little flush. And you don't have to be afraid of an orange blush. Just because it looks orange in the palette doesn't mean that it's going to look straight up orange on you. So that's nice. I like that. And it got a little sheen, you know, a nice little, so you could use these as blush highlighters, blush toppers. If you're not a, you know, shiny blush girl, if you don't like your blushes to have a little bit of a glow, then this probably is not for you. This entire palette, because the only thing that's matte is that shade that I used to contour. Very pretty. I like that. Very pretty. You know, we got a little bit of luminosity on the cheeks, so you don't really need a highlight, but to demonstrate, you know, do a full demonstration of the palette, I am going to use one of these highlights. And I'm going to take my Wayne Goss artist brush. Here it's a little bit of flat, little flat brush. And I'm thinking I want to use this white shade. And I know you guys are probably like, what the heck? But it's a duochrome actually. So it looks a little bit white, but then when you use it, it's gold. Keep trying to look at the palette as a mirror, and it doesn't have one. That's annoying. But yeah, I was not going to get this because it reminded me so much of the Juvia's Place palette, but I'm like, I want to try it. So, I'm trying it. Alright, and then what I'm going to do next is spray my face and then press that into the skin. Alright, that was enough. That's enough. Look at this bottle. I just got this like last week and I've already used that much of it. This is a ColourPop setting spray. It's really nice. Has a nice peachy smell to it. And it's nice. $6. I don't know if it's worth it. Because I don't know if you can get like Mario Badescu for around the same price and get more product. I don't know. But it smells nice and it sprays nicely as well. Alright. And press into the skin, press, press, press over that highlighted area. Okay. And if you really want an intense highlight, take a damp sponge, press it into your powder highlight and pop it on like that. But I'm going to see how it looks. Alright, I got this damp sponge. Alright, I popped it, pressed it in, and let's see. And I would say maybe you don't need to use as big of a freaking brush as I just did. So please don't copy me in that regard. But yeah, look. So now it's a little bit more popping. You know, a little bit more intensity. Going on the other side to make sure they match. And then I'm just going to do the same thing on my nose area. Upper lip. Okay. So, I wanted to definitely show you guys that white shade so that you wouldn't see it and be off-put. But look, it's like a nice golden shade. I'm not looking ashy or anything like that because a lot of times if you have a highlight that is too light for your skin, you will look like you have a patch of ash or dryness. It will just look off in that area, and it blends in seamlessly with my skin. It doesn't look like I have a patch of white on my face. So yeah, it's a nice duochrome shade, that white shade, so it's fitting for every skin tone. I think this is a fantastic palette. So what y'all thinking about this? Let me know what you all think about this palette. Will you get it? I think it's a great deal. I'm going to show you all. So this is Sephora Volume 1 by Juvia's Place. And I think this one is like $21. I'm going to put that information here, okay? And so here's the color arrangement of this one. All right, we've got the 2 golds and we've got 4 mattes, okay? These, you thought this Sephora palette was pigmented? These, man, please. I got to use a special brush with these palettes because they are that pigmented, okay? Nice, beautiful palette. There's no comparison of the packaging. This is cardboard with metallic closures, but it's just very different, very colorful, very bright, and that is the aesthetic of Juvia's Place. All right, and this one is nice, sleek, you know, a nice, sleek, I don't want to say sophisticated because this place is not sophisticated, but they just have a different aesthetic, okay? So that's what this one looks like. And then their other blush palette is the Sephora Volume 2, and this is more, wow, and this is the Sephora Volume 2. So we've got, again, 4 matte shades. This one is more of a subtle blush, you know, more of a brighter blush. So if you're a really deep skin tone, get Sephora Volume 1. If you are a lighter skin tone or you like just lighter shades of blush, then this one would be the one to go for. So I think just the setup of these is similar to this one. So you let me know, you know, if you have the Juvia's Place ones, do you think you'll even pick up the Sephora palette? Which one do you like better just on looking at them? If you want a full-on like comparison of the 3 palettes, of the 3 blush palettes, let me know. But I like all of them. I really do. I like all of them. So this is just the first impressions, but my first impression is thumbs up, 2 thumbs up for Sephora's, you know, blush palette. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Shirt all crooked. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be talking to you all really soon. See ya.